Okay, good, because I got porn at the back. Anyways, when you think of a lawyer, right? When you hear the word lawyer,
I
what do you
think the
think a
word
lawyer
criminal.
does?
Crime.
Yeah. What do you think they? Oh my god, think crime?
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Just any word, any word. First name pops in your head. Just
Uh,
say it.
Corrupt.
Corrupt. Anything else? Give me like three more.
Sticky fingered.
Sticky. Okay, what the fuck?
Smart.
Smart. Okay.
And psychopathic.
Psychopathic. Okay. All right. So you think a lawyer does crime? Oh, oops. They're corrupt, sticky fingered, smart. Okay. All right. But what
Yes.
do you think they like specifically do? Like, what does a lawyer do? But what
Oh
does
well,
your name do?
they represent a
Okay.
party.
Representing a party.
Yeah, I should also probably help by saying this, right?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely retarded, right? I
Okay.
took criminal civil law before,
Okay.
um, and I was a lawyer in a mock trial, so I'm kind of goaded.
All right. So what did you do in the mock trial? What was the main thing you were doing?
I was representing, like I was the main
Okay, but like
lawyer.
specifically, what were you doing? Like throughout the trial, what did you do? Right? You were?
Created a you said what?
You were what? Doing what? You were doing what?
I was
Arguing
okay, arguing. Yeah.
a point
Okay. See, for me, I
or
would have said
a
like
conclusion.
creating a reasonable like doubt, like a doubt for it, you know?
Right, and that, fundamentally is like you arguing a point. You're making a point. You're saying, hey, this person is so and so because of these stated facts, right?
Yeah.
Now, right? Arguing. Okay, that's another word, or it's a root word, right? Or argue. This part, it's a Latin for some bullshit, but it can also be used for argument. I think I misspelled argument. Okay. Now, what is an argument? Okay, you're like, oh shit, it's just people they're going back
It's a
and forth
battle
yelling
of
at each other, right?
wits.
Wrong, right? You think it is, you would think it is, but no. In actuality, an argument is made up of two different things. So we're gonna look over here, arguments, right? And then we're gonna go like this. Argument is actually, oops, made up of a thing called a, oh my goodness, premise and a conclusion. Okay. That's what an argument is. An argument is a premise and a conclusion. Okay. Like it's actual like literary thing. It's premise and conclusion. Now you're thinking, okay, what's a premise? What's a conclusion? Right? A conclusion is pretty easy. I mean, that's a pretty commonly used word, right? It's a conclusion. It's like, something you have at the end of the sentence. You're like, okay, we do all this and summarize. We found that this is that. Okay. But what's a premise? Well, you can already figure out like from the root word pre, right? Which is Latin for something else. It's before, right? It's this
Like
supports the conclusion.
pre-cum, man. When you come
Yeah,
before you come.
exactly. It supports the actual bus. Now, what does that actually look like in writing, in speech, right? Because obviously, you see this now, you see this little diagram, but you're like, what the fuck does that really mean in life, right? Well, here's a good example, right? I like Fanta. Okay, that's a sentence. This is a premise, right? You're stating a fact, right? Now, you have this fact, right? You could reasonably come to the conclusion, come, right? Pre-come and come. You could reasonably come to the conclusion that, therefore, oops, I like Fanta. Okay, this is a valid conclusion. Why? Because in the premise, you stated you like Fanta, right? This is how normal speech regularly occurs, Mr. Pope. Okay, it's like think about you're talking to like some fine broad, right? And then you're just like you're not saying anything. You don't even say hello to her. You're just like, hey, therefore I like Fanta. She'll be like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? This guy is retarded. This guy is insane. This guy is stupid. This guy has Asperger's or something, right? Because who
Instead,
the fuck?
you gotta open it up and be like, "Hey, bitch,
I like Fanta.
I like Fanta."
Exactly. Exactly. See, now you're picking up what I'm putting down, right? Because no one starts a conversation with therefore I like Fanta, right? No one starts a conversation with therefore, right? Therefore is a conclusion indicator. You're indicating that you're finishing something, okay? And even if you did, let's say even if this did not exist, right? Like you had since since I like Fanta, I like Fanta, right? They'd be like, okay, but like, where is this coming from? Where is the well, like what's supporting this? Because what if I turn around, right? Or who's a better example? Ken Hutchinson, DA, right? He's just like, well, you don't have any proof that you like Fanta. Okay. You put on the stand, right? You're like, this guy doesn't like Fanta. Well, you can say, hey, I already said I like Fanta. I like Fanta. So I've said this before. So therefore I do like Fanta. You can't fucking mess with this. This shit is rock solid, okay? So it's like a pyramid. It's like a building, okay? So you've got the conclusion, right? And then also
Built by
after that,
slaves.
exactly, you are the slave.
Okay.
So this shit's built by you, right? So look, you get rid of the premise, okay? And then all of a sudden, the whole thing goes crumbling down. It falls, right? It's like 9/11 all over again, okay?
Fuck.
That's what you get what I'm trying to say? So what you're always trying to do as a lawyer, right, is you are arguing a point, right, by having a conclusion that you reasonably come to with premises, right, or statements of fact. So, uh, premises can also be considered statements of fact. Okay, now you might be thinking, hey, Santino, this is like pretty fucking gravy and all, but like, no one's going to fucking court talking about Fanta, right? It's some bullshit. Okay, well, we can compare this to your trial, right? The DA's office, right? They said, hey, we've got mountains and mountains of evidence that Orion Pope had something to do with the torturing and killing of John Chevelle and the other unrelated, irrelevant Dannies involved in that scene. Okay, I don't know the names because they are Dannies to me, right? And they're like, we have mountains of evidence. Okay, those every article of evidence that you have can be considered a premise. It can be considered a statement of fact. Why? Because it exists and it's supporting their conclusion. Okay. Now you can tackle the integrity of a premise, right? And if you tackle the integrity of a premise enough, the premise can, fall down, and then the conclusion falls down, right? Like when Jermaine called what's her face a bitch in Heat, right? You're like, oh, okay, so Victoria Larson, you claim to be tortured, but right after you were like sucking his dick or whatever. Like, is that really what a tortured woman does voluntarily? You know what I mean? Um, that is attacking the integrity of the evidence, right? And that could destroy the premises or the statements of fact, right? If you destroy the integrity of the statements of fact enough, it just becomes a statement and less so a statement of fact. Okay. And that's what really lawyers do. Okay. The whole thing that you do, it's four fundamental things, right? You find facts, you compile facts into an organized and coherent manner, right? You can't start your story, right, that you're trying to push, right, with the end. Okay, and then like be like, oh, by the way, you know, this part in the beginning also happened, by the way. They're like, yo, what the fuck? I don't understand what's going on, right? You have to be coherent. They have to know what you're saying, because if they don't know, then no one's gonna fucking follow along and agree with you, right? Like I'll be sitting there on the stand going, the fuck's this guy talking about, right? So you gotta compile facts coherently. You have to present them, okay? Like how Jermaine did, right? He had a whole case presented. They had documents, mountains and mountains of documents, okay? You have to present them in case, so you have to, prepare, not like Athena, who didn't prepare at all, right? And then finally, you have to defend them, okay? And that's what you have to do. So like when it comes to that's the other side, right? The other side exists to, destroy the integrity of your premises, right? While also putting down their own premises. They're trying to like, get the last spot, right? So you've got to find, compile, present, and defend. Okay. And if you can do all of this successfully, you will win your one trial, and then you'll no longer be my slave. Right. Um, Finding facts can be pretty easy, right? When it actually comes to finding facts, the way you do it is you have to ask 6 questions, right? Now, if you remember in kindergarten, if you did go to kindergarten, I don't know what jurisdiction you live in. They might not have kindergarten, right? But in kindergarten, in your
I
junior,
was in that shit, don't you worry. I didn't know how to
and
write my own alphabet, so like they had to like trace my name for me and then I would copy it.
oh, that's tough, man. That's tough. Shit, I didn't know you grew up so rough. But anyways, in kindergarten, you should have this. Now I know this is in junior kindergarten. I know this is a junior kindergarten curriculum, right? You should have learned the 5 W's and how. Okay. Now, what are the 5 W's? Just in case you don't know.
Where, what, when, why?
Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Every single fact
Wait,
that you will
there's
look
no
for.
W in there.
No, it's the 5 W's and why and how.
Oh, I've
So
never
six
heard that
questions.
before.
I know, right? It's that new shit. You know what I mean? But look,
That's tech.
It's method, bro. It's method. But look, every single fact you will want to look for in your court case is rooted in one of these 6 questions. Okay? Who was there? What happened there? Where did it happen? When did it happen? Oops. Oops. Why did it happen? How did it happen? Right? And so many more questions. Every single fact you will receive by asking these questions. You have to ask a lot. You have to ask these questions a lot of times, right? To probably even a lot of people. Okay. So you gotta go ask, the victim, quote unquote culprit, witnesses, not just these questions, but any question that like starts with this, you probably will find it, right? And then once you find all these facts, you got to compile them, right, into the coherent manner that I was talking about, right? Then you've got to present them. Then finally, you got to defend them, right? And that
Yes.
is pretty much basically what DOJ-RP is: finding, compiling, presenting, defending, right? You're rudimentally, like the rudimentary stuff is just really down to 4 things. It's finding, compiling, presenting, defending. Right? Any questions so far?
No, nothing.
Okay. This is, by the way, you're doing this shit for free, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're not paying it. We're not paying thugs like you.
I don't want to get paid. Fuck that. All right.
Good. And
Um, I'm
hopefully
gonna.
you really
So
fuck with
is
this
that
shit.
is that like the basic premise? Oh, 100%, dude. I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, so
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
gonna hop out of here. I'm gonna go start getting ready in city, and then let me know when you guys are in city. I'll be on the radio.
Oh, for the video,
Yeah.
I'm in the city right now. Pull up.
I bet. All right,
I'm at
bet.
the city
I'll
hall.
be there. All right.
All right. Perfect. Jermaine, you record that?
I was supposed to start.
Oh fuck. It's okay.